as I've gotten back re-engaged, as I've entered back into some of the places of work, one of the things that I've come into contact with is people who are talking about kind of this underlying fear they have. How are we supposed to act when things get back to normal, right? When things open up and we're interacting with people, how do we keep ourselves safe? How do we interact in a way that's not going to put ourselves or other people in danger? And then there's this almost follow-up grip of fear, like, are we ever going to be the same? Are we going to ever get back financially? Are we ever going to get back to a normal routine? Are we going to ever get back to normal health? All of those things, and what does that look like? And so there are people who have been discouraged and kind of living in fear. So earlier this week, I shared a verse about that, and it's from Isaiah 41:10. And I want to read the verse and then just encourage you with it again. So I sent this out in the email or post earlier this week that some of you received. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Fear not, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am God. I will strengthen you, and I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." So that's a huge promise, and it's an encouragement. So the promise part is that God's the one who gives us strength. It's his mighty right hand, and the right hand is, in their culture, was the hand of power. It was the hand where you greeted people. It's the hand where you shook on deals. The right hand was the hand of authority. And so when he says, "I'm upholding you with my right hand," he's saying, I'm upholding you with all of my power and all my authority, right? And so he's saying, I've got you. So don't be dismayed. Don't fear, for I have you and I am strong. I will strengthen you and I will help you. So that's the promise God gives. So that's his promise. And out of that promise, then, we realize that we don't have to live in fear, that we don't have to be discouraged or dismayed. Now, I get it. Some of you guys are fearful. Some of you guys have been discouraged over your finances. I mean, let's be honest. It's been tough for some people. Over loved ones who you fear might get sick or ill. Over your own safety. And some of you have even struggled with what might have been COVID-19. But God created us to rely on him. And there's nothing, even a pandemic, that can stop the love and the work of God. And so, in the middle of this, instead of living in fear, live in trust. Instead of being discouraged, have hope. Guys, be hopeful. Be encouraged. Know that there is an end point to this. There is an end date. Now, we're never going to be guaranteed total health. We're never going to be offered complete and total lack of any threat or any injury. Guys, there's always going to be danger in this world. There's always things that can threaten us. But if we live in fear, if we're gripped by fear and we live in that fear, then we will always be discouraged. We will always be fearful. And that's not what God created us to be. And that's not how he wants us to live. No, he wants to strengthen us and hold us up. So would you let him do that? Would you trust that he's big enough to handle you no matter what your situation is? And don't live in fear. Guys, I hope y'all have a great week, and I hope to see you real soon if I don't see you next week.